Firstly, just let me say how pleased I am to be here talking to so many people who are involved in actually turning the EU's ambitions on climate into reality. It's absolutely clear that the mayors of the municipalities that are represented today have an important role to play in actually achieving the EU's energy and climate policies. So first of all, congratulations on being here, because I think that's a great achievement. I'm also pleased to be here because actually today we're just published our draft proposals looking forward to how we'll prioritise and increase our activity in the energy sector. And one of the proposals that's coming out of that is to increase the bank's support to investments, in particular in energy efficiency and renewable energy, which is at the core of a lot of the projects and investments that you'll be making here. So actually it's a great opportunity for me to tell you a little bit about what the bank, the European Investment Bank, can do to help you support your projects in the future. Firstly, just to put the energy efficiency objectives and why is it so important in the context of what EIB is. I was told that not everybody would know what EIB is, so I'm just going to say a little bit about what the European Investment Bank is and what we do. First of all, we are a bank, so the primary thing that we do is provide financing for projects which help to support European Union policy objectives. But we can also provide some financial and technical assistance to help people take projects from the early planning stage into project realisation. And for example, we do that together with the European Commission very closely. We've already mentioned Jessica. We also have other instruments by Eleanor and a number of other things which I'll talk about a little bit later. And then the third area that we provide assistance is also through financial instruments, which is blending. So blending with, again, funds from the Commission, but also from other donor partners who can actually help to make some projects more affordable for municipalities, but also enable EIB to provide more leverage to projects, i.e. taking money from the Commission and actually multiplying it in a way that we can actually provide more financial support to projects. Why is energy efficiency important? I mean, I probably don't need to convince you, but certainly why have we said that we would like to see an increased support from the bank? Clearly, it's essential if the European Union is to meet its climate objectives and also still have affordable energy for households. I think an earlier speaker highlighted the importance of making sure that the energy investments we make are affordable for households and industry as well, because that's going to be central to a competitive European future, to have competitive energy costs. Looking also at the background that we're currently sitting in, I think, again, the Mayor of Lviv mentioned that his country is very dependent on gas, and actually that gas dependency is going to increase in terms of our import dependency. By 2030, approximately 83% of the European gas will be imported. And there, again, energy efficiency and investment in renewable energy has a core role to play in increasing the European Union's security of supply, security of energy supply, and actually doing that cost effectively. So for us, we see that in terms of looking how can we support European Union objectives, increasing our support to municipalities who are bringing forward good projects is clearly core for us. Thinking then about a little bit about how we do that through, as I said, providing financing, so long-term loans, and we also do it through technical assistance, support, and I'd like to actually talk a little bit about Eleanor today, because I think that Eleanor can help project promoters, municipalities to take projects from a stage which is fairly well advanced, but not yet well advanced enough to go to the market for financing, and take it from that stage to the final stage of financing in the market. So what is Eleanor, and how does Eleanor work? Eleanor provides, and it's a European Commission fund, Eleanor provides technical assistance to municipalities to help them identify and take their projects from the early planning stage, so when you have a good idea about how you want to meet your targets that you've set yourself, take you from there to a stage where you can take the projects to the market. And by the market, I mean to commercial funders and co-financing with EIB as well, because EIB also needs to have a bankable project in order to lend. To date, Eleanor has financed 22 projects and has awarded grants for €40 million. So it's a substantial amount of money available to municipalities to help develop projects. It achieves a very high leverage ratio, and at the moment it's estimated that that 40 million will support 2.6 billion worth of projects, and the facility is open. The projects must be real, though, as I've said. We need actually the municipalities doing a lot of work up front to develop their action plans into something which is concrete, because the authorities must commit to actually implement the projects. So if you get an Eleanor grant, you must actually have a commitment to actually fund that project and take it through to completion. So what we're really looking for, therefore, is well-developed concepts, but concepts which just fall short of being able to actually attract financing. So it's actually about putting in place, or, for example, the energy performance contracts that you would like to see developed in your municipality to actually get more investments in for your buildings, for example. So at the moment, there's a good opportunity to do this through your sustainable energy action plans. And there, I think what we would want to do is see, as much as possible, the plans to be more concrete, rather than to move down from the ambition to actually concretely, how are you going to deliver your ambitions to save energy of, say, 30%? Some of the concrete examples that we saw on the two videos are good places. For example, the school, retrofitting schools to actually ensure that they are zero energy buildings is a good initiative, and actually having a concrete plan to how you're going to achieve that is essential. Let me give you an example of a province that benefited from an Eleanor grant, the province of Milan, where Eleanor was used by the province of Milan to develop a pipeline of energy performance contracts. And that was what the province did, was develop the template that was then used by small municipalities to actually go out to the market with a already defined and developed contract, which was well understood by the potential energy service companies. They could take that contract, understand what the specifications were, because they were then clearly set out, and actually bring those projects to fruition. So far, the first contract was signed, which covered 100 buildings across a number of small municipalities, and the investment was 13 million, so it's quite a small investment, but would save 30% of the energy in those buildings, and there's another 300 buildings in the pipeline. In that case, EIB also provided financing alongside a local commercial bank to actually help provide financing to the ESCOs who were actually set up to actually implement the projects. So let me conclude there, because again I'm about to run out of time, to say that clearly EIB is a strong supporter of the Covenant initiatives here to save energy. We can provide a variety of instruments. I've talked mainly about Eleanor today, but already we've talked about Jessica and other instruments, as well as other funds we have. And actually I would leave you with the hope that you develop very concrete proposals so that actually they can be taken forward into real projects that can be financed. Thank you very much.